and welcome to this program. This lockdown has taught us and made us friendly to virtual meeting than physical. And I understand all of participants, majority are either fresher or recently passed, uh, and so all young participants. So first of all, congratulations to enter to this new world of your profession. And I'll say that now it's your second life starts, in the sense that this is your professional life starting. And here your personality get changed. You will start to recognize yourself. You will start asking questions to yourself. You'll start understanding yourself. And the same is necessary, because how you want to shape your future or future life, you need to ask yourself. No one else can understand that better than you. And it's a process. It will not happen in a once. It's trial and error. And now the situation is that you will start taking the decision of your life yourself independently. I don't mean that earlier you are not taking as such, but you are taking the control or reins of your life in your hand. And it's important process for any individual. There may be many questions, many doubts, many grievances, many complaints in your mind and heart. Obviously, there can be doubts about your future, but I'll request that try to calm down. Each thing, each event need a time. Each thing to be cooked, it takes time. So you have to give yourself the time as well. As a professional, I will say as a CS now, we are talking about CS. So you may be combining your qualification with other qualification, may or may not. It's on you. But I am repeatedly saying and stressing that you should know what you like, what you want, and what you can do also. Because always it is not that what you want can at present you can do. So there can be the circumstances also. So you have to accept the same and wait the circumstances to change. You will always try to change that, but many times it is out of your control. So don't get dissatisfied or have crippling about that. Enjoy the atmosphere and the circumstances what you are. Life is full of effort, struggle, and problem. And your life is, and your education, effort, and knowledge you are using to find the solution for the same. That's the part of your life. That's the purpose of your life. Otherwise, what the life without any situation? I always put problem is not problem, it's a situation. You have to attain the situation. Anything is a situation. You have to solve it. So far you can. So that way you look at. Now, as a CS, what you want, because as a CS, when I take interviews, I ask what you want to do. I don't say that everyone is very clear at the first outset that I want to do this, that, but at least start asking what you like. For that, you have to work first. Then you will understand whether you are liking this or not. For liking also, should know what is that work. If you don't know what is that work, what that work needs, what it requires, then you will not like. Because what will happen, that work needs certain things which you were not knowing. So not necessarily you are not having that quality or capability, but you are not knowing this should be utilized for this work. Then you will not be able to achieve the result or level or quality of that work which it should. And you will be frustrated and you will not like that work. So you need to work on yourself continuously as an individual. As an individual, I always say don't limit yourself to anything. I always request all the CS, just go back to your curriculum, what you learned, and try to explain yourself that you are allowed to enter these all areas. So there are this many gates. Which gate you want to enter is your choice. But for that, you will say that I want to know what will be my future, what will be my return, whether I am capable, whether after 10 years I will have sufficient money, I will earn name, fame, and all that thing. Everything you can't decide in advance. And everything requires your capability as well. It on you, the area and the opportunities are always there. It's on you how you utilize it. So how you channelize your energy, make yourself capable to be success in that entry which you have taken. So it's an immense scope. There will be figures appearing that every year this many CS appears past, but only so many companies set up. Compulsory CS required this much and this much in market and all that. The word uses market. And everyone telling that tension. Don't go all these things. These figures are for that compulsory position. I'll always believe that if anything made compulsory, it lost its importance. I'm not telling that that should not be compulsory. What I'm telling is that you should be important and required. You should not be forced upon. Even if you are forced upon by whatever reason, create and develop yourself that you are important and contribute rather than you are being there with any position because of compulsion. Then you will enjoy the work, others will enjoy your contribution and importance, and you will feel happy. Always anyone wants to be feel important in the organization, and then only you are happy and satisfied. One thing is money is important always, but your professional and personal satisfaction should be to the topmost priority of any individual. You are CS, you are competent, you are intelligent. That's why you are, among others, you have come out as a successful company secretary. You have passed these exams. But again, I'm telling, it's not limited to one or two subjects. Your area is many. But that doesn't mean that your important area, which is a basic to be understood in the society as a basic duty and roles and responsibility of a company secretary, you should be weekend of. Any work you do, is a trademark of yourself. You are not with any individual. Generally, there will not be your personal communication or a personal meeting regularly for each and every person. It is your work which will communicate your presence to so many people. Just imagine if you are drafting anything or communicating anything, you are not going to meet or see or talk to any that person, but that person will have the work you have done, and it leaves the trademark image of yourself. Your work is the trademark of yourself. And please note that in mind always. When you execute any work, think that I am creating trademark. Don't allow your trademark to be damaged by your own hand. For whatever reason, in life you will be dissatisfied, you will be stressed, you will be tortured, you will be subject of politics, you will not like particular work, but when you are doing for whatever reason, don't allow that work to tarnish your image. So far it is done, it can't leave your stamp. It should have your stamp that yes, this is the work done by this person. That only makes you perfect and it leads to your growth. Whatever work you do, give full attention. Many times people say, this work I'm doing, what it is useful, it's monotonous and all that. Like many people has very bad thinking about drafting a minutes or a filing form. But I'll tell that this to work is the entire squeezing of knowledge of the Companies Act. Can you believe this? I'll say this to work is the sole squeezing of the knowledge of company secretary. How? I'll explain that. Minutes is the only document which are left for future. Who else was present in the meeting? It's no one knows. Everything is written there. What is written there is the final. So it's like an individual and is known by his birth certificate. A board meeting or a meeting is known by its minute. And who creates this? A company secretary. For a company, a minute is its existence, proof of existence and working, its compliance. How a company will prove the compliance, its communications, its decision-making process, its transparency, its corporate governance, its opportunity for everyone, its diligence, everything will be proved by what is written in that minutes. So how you draft it itself is important. Now again, many will tell that, the minutes of, okay, fine, that actual meeting which happens, there is a discussion and all that. It's fine. We enjoy drafting. But what about the minutes which actually board meeting doesn't happen? It's sad, but it's happening. We have to accept that. Of course, we have to try hard to convince the management to have proper meeting. For that, you have to work hard and you may not get money also, but you will be a part and reason of process of corporate governance and compliance for which you are there. You should not leave your, insistence on that. There will be rejection, there will be dejection, there will be resistance. Of course, I also faced all this, but don't leave the efforts. Efforts makes the person perfect. So don't leave efforts. You keep on doing this. Somewhere or other, it's my experience, people start that. That helps the people then to understand the importance of minute. And you have to work hard. You will say that you have added more work in your pocket yourself, because then you are expected to be a perfect. So that way you are creating a compliance and intelligence and perfection in yourself as well. So now suppose this meeting, now let's come to this kind of meeting and people will say there is no business and as such. I'll put that way. You have to ensure that meeting quarterly. You have to ensure at the registered office. So you have to ensure there is a registered office, right? Now here person will be surprised why I'm talking this. So many times the directors do not bother where the register office is there and whether anyone is there and receiving any post or not. As a compliance officer, you will be reminded that there is the registered office and I have to take care. I'm going extreme case where, registered office is also remote place. I know that these things are going, but how to correct it? See, rather than complaining, how we contribute to correct is important thing. And please, people will tell, no one listen. I have gone through all this and then only I'm talking. So registered office. And there comes your reminder, take care, right? And what happens if a register post goes undelivered from the government office? You should know the consequences and your promoter should know the consequences. Then comes your timing and the statutory thing and whosoever present. You know whom you have to mark present. So, suppose you have directors who are located out of country and there comes, and if there is MD who is out of country always. Here comes your check whether the person is resident, non-resident. Okay, you have to show the person present continuously, or at least you remember the continuous 3 months and 3 meetings, otherwise vacation. So this all your reminder starts. Now again I'll come to the point. Then your starts with the chairman, then minutes of the last meeting. And tell me one thing, if the company is working, at least bank account operation will be there. Banking account, shares, directors. At least this much minimum will be there. There will be borrowings or something. This kind of transaction will be there. There can be charge, which if it is with bank or anyone, they will take care of creation. But if there is no other part is not bank, then you have to take care. So that also is another point. Then here comes the borrowing limit. Unless you have that idea, that will not happen. Also, then comes the power of attorney. Because here it comes whether a company is public, private, listed, unlisted, whatever. Power of attorney is very important thing. Many CS do not take care of the power of attorneys. It's a very important thing. How the company exercise powers? Through board. Board do not exercise day-to-day every power. They also give delegation to the employees. Now that employees represent the corporate to the outside board. So whether that power of attorney is properly executed, it has all powers, it has all precautions, and if tomorrow, and who is keeping the original? It should be in the control of the company. If you remember, we have registered for that. And that should be the person responsible to take care of all power of attorney. It should not be misutilized. Time is short, it can be misutilized to a great extent. Again, here the role comes. Please note that you have to understand the risk factor involved in the corporate world, and you have to assume the role of risk manager so far possible. Normally the things are going correct and smooth. No one knows what will be the importance. But take care of all the possible risks, then there is no surprise. So this power of attorney. Now remember, as and when any employee leaves, whom this power of attorney given, don't skip to revoke that power of attorney. Cancel the power of attorney already executed original, which is with you, and inform all the authority that this power of attorney is submitted. Now, how we will do that unless you know that all this power of attorney was submitted? So what it requires? A direction and the rule in the company that a power of attorney will be submitted under the signature of some important person. It should not be submitted without the knowledge and information of any one single person who knows that where all the power of attorney is getting submitted. What is power of attorney submission is that authority to represent the company. Please note that a corporate or company is responsible for anything done, said, executed by their said power of attorney holder. So you are creating the liability for the company by this kind of person, action and inaction both. You need the control over this. This is must. Now, do you think a private company do not execute power of attorney? They do, right? They give power of attorney to the consultant also. So take care, take feedback and filler from the consultant also. Next comes is review of operations. Now here, generally we write the board review the operations of the company. Now, here comes the picture. Please note that directors are personally liable for inaction or certain things. How that inaction is proved? Through this board minutes. You write one-liner, the board review the operations. When the company is going through the trouble, when the company is going through the business failure, when the company is going through some administrative problem, the same should be reflected in the minutes. That board discussed the same. That shows the directors was knowing, was serious, they considered, they discussed, but they were not able to find the solution, or they tried, but it was not successful. That shows the diligence of director, and that do not create a personal liability on director. Can you understand this? For example, if there is a liquidity problem, why can't you refer the same? And what efforts are taken? If there is action to be taken, the same should be discussed. Please refer all this. There will be certain, in this kind of company, generally there will be accounting treatment will be given. Please don't forget to consider this. Again, in adoption of accounts, I will refer that particular name. Why the accounting treatment are not reflected in your resolutions? It's a adjustment of profit. Making provision doesn't automatically happen. It's board who decide. Why is not that reflected in the minutes? When you create a reserve, you know the balance sheet is containing all this. Why the same is not reflected in minutes? It's a decision of the directors. It doesn't happen. Auditor has not decided, accountant or CFO has not decided. It's board who decided. So, but where is it in your minutes? Now, tomorrow the same can be questioned. And here comes your role. So please don't tell and think that since there is no board meeting, it's a private company, directors do not bother. What's great in drafting that minutes? I'm telling you repeatedly. If the company has factory, why can't you provide that factory certain compliances are taken care? Why can't you write if there is a departmental head, they have given the compliance certificate and they have given it. Now, there may be situation only one person, senior is there. Okay, fine. Create a system to get a compliance certificate from them for all the activities for which that person is responsible. Why can't you create that system? Don't you think it's required? Now comes if it is not factory, it's a trading company. But in trading also there should be stock audit, right? What I request as a CS, be a businessman yourself and think that it is your organization, your business, what care you will take, what you will expect. That all you try to do. See that how you feel, that how much you can do. The thing that we do not give importance to ourselves, our position, our work, and expect others to think that we are important. Our position is important, our work is important. But my dear friends, whether you yourself give importance, you yourself are dissatisfied, you yourself are not giving importance to your work and expect